Hey guys, it's Paradise, and dropkicking, body slamming, and crazy martial arts moves are all things you can do that you may not know about in Death Stranding 2. So in today's video, we wanted to go over all of the essential things you need to know about combat, as knowing them simply makes the game so much better. Let's start off with your melee moves, and we'll continue into items and weapon tips. Of course, pressing circle repeatedly gives you access to a successive hit combo that is actually really good to use, as a single combo is normally enough to take out an enemy. The combo can be extended by increasing your melee stat in the stats menu, which will give you additional hits up to a total of 5 and increase the damage of each one. The stat itself is increased through experience, so the more you wreck people with your punches, the better you will get. As the game progresses, the enemies will become more reactive and even block attacks, so do be mindful of that. However, there is a move that you have access to that will break enemy defenses. You can do a flying knee kick on enemies by pressing jump and then circle. This will instantly break the guard of any enemy and allow you to follow up with other attacks. Then you have one of the most meme-worthy moves in the game. You can straight up body slam people, allowing you to floor them. This one is super simple, like the knee kick. Just press X to jump, but this time press R1 and Sam will starfish the enemy. Even though we love the body slam, our favorite move has to be the drop kick. This thing is lethal, as a single drop kick is enough to completely render an enemy unconscious, and it's extremely fun to do. This is the same input as the knee kick, but this time you need to be doing a sprinting run to initiate it. After you gain enough speed, just jump and press circle to go flying. If you have an exoskeleton on, you will travel even further, making for some hilarious moments. This works for both the body slam and the drop kick, so if you're a wrestling fan, you can fully feel like you're jumping off the top rope to body slam someone from a mile away. Just consider that it can be harder to line up and land if you are using an exosuit like the Boost exosuit. This next move is situational but very good to know. When an enemy is on the ground, like for example you've bowlered them but they are not unconscious, you can walk up to them and kick them while they're on the floor to instantly knock them out. This works incredibly well with the body slam, as it knocks enemies to the ground. Now, being offensive will only get you so far, but luckily there's a bunch of defensive options that you can make use of. If you are in a close range battle, you can dodge incoming enemy attacks by holding L2, R2 and then pressing X as the attack's about to hit you. This will give you an omnidirectional dodge out of the way, and will also have iframes in it, or invincibility frames, during the dodge, allowing you to completely nullify and dash through the attacks. This is extra useful when you're surrounded. When you're using guns or you have something held, you can dive by pressing L2 and X, which is similar to the dodge. It has iframes, meaning you'll remain untouched even for big enemy boss slams. Another useful defensive option that you may not know about is blocking. This is done by simply bracing with L2 and R2 as an enemy is about to hit you. You can continue to hold the buttons to block successive attacks, and this works for enemy punches and melee weapons. You can also do a well-timed block by pressing it at the time of the attack rather than holding it to receive no damage or less damage. Blocking is also available when using melee weapons, so you can hold L2 or the aim button to block incoming hits. The effects and camera look extra epic while you're doing it as well. After a block, you can follow up with a counter attack by pressing circle, and this has the property of breaking enemies' guards, meaning you can open up your own offensive windows. For additional pressure on enemies, you can tackle using L2, R2 and a direction and circle. This causes Sam to push his way through the enemy, which is great for multiple groups or instantly dazing them, allowing you to follow up with a bind. Now we've gone over the basic melee moves though, let's go over some item-based moves. The strand is an item that you have by default, and it can be selected in the weapons menu. But even without selecting it, you can sneak up behind enemies and bind them by pressing circle. However, a secret move you can do is to parry incoming attacks with it. Simply aim with it with L2 and then time an R2 press just as you're about to get attacked. This will parry the incoming hit and turn the enemy away so you can easily bind them. Next up, as you progress the game, you'll actually unlock gloves, and these will enhance your melee combat abilities by making your punches deal more damage, adding electricity to it, and you're able to punch armored enemies. These are very powerful and fun to use, and they're part of the story progression, so you won't miss them. Something to know with them though is that you can hold down the circle button to charge up an electrical discharge, which is amazing for dispatching a large group of enemies very quickly. If you're wearing the gloves and approach an enemy for a sneak attack, it also changes the strand sneak to a shock attack. Cargo isn't just for shipping though, as you can also deliver it straight to an enemy's head as a weapon. If you pick up the cargo in your hands and hold it using L2 or R2, then while you're doing this, you'll be able to swing with them. This deals massive damage to enemies, but be aware it will damage the cargo. Furthermore, if you don't want to get up close to an enemy, you can let go of either L2 or R2, whichever hand you're holding it in, as you attack with circle, and this will send the cargo hurling towards the enemy, often one-shotting them unconscious. Since you probably don't want to use your own cargo for this as it damages it, you could use enemy cargo instead, and there's a trick that you can do here. After a melee combo when an enemy is knocked out, there'll be a short slowdown, and if the enemy has any cargo attached to them, it will fall off. During this time, you can hold down the pickup button to catch it, and then you're able to use it on the next enemy. Now there is something amazing that you don't want to miss out on, and that is the Pizza Chef moves. These are unlocked by visiting the Pizza Chef and leveling him up for the different moves. There are some crazy ones that you can do, like the spinning pizza strike. To do this after you've unlocked it, just hold down R2 and circle to dash forwards in a spinning attack that smashes through enemies. It's perfect for both mobility, damage, and breaking enemies' blocks. You can also get the Pizza Whirlwind kick. This is probably one of our favorite moves out of the lot. Hold down L2 and circle to spin kick everyone in range with a flurry of close range hits. This is awesome for taking out a bunch of enemies in close range in one go, and it just looks insane. But next is the great spinning pizza slam. If you hold down R2, L2, and circle, it will cause you to rush forwards, grab an enemy, and finish them off with a massive spinning slam. This is easily one of the most satisfying moves in the game and is totally Kojima being Kojima. We love it. Now let's jump into some tips about weapons. Some weapons come with a torch that you can use to blind unsuspecting enemies at night. To use it, press square while aiming down sights and find an unalerted guard to sneak up on. The aiming in Death Stranding isn't the best and can feel a bit weird to get used to it. However, there is a trick to using it. Rather than individually trying to aim at targets, if you press the aiming button, it will snap to the closest target, making it much easier to land those shots, and as the game progresses, you will unlock additional APAS skills that can increase the strength of the auto aim, making it even easier. If you're wondering how to use cover, this is super simple. All you need to do is approach a piece of cover and then use the L2 button to pop out. There will be a pop-up that appears to let you know that you can do it. As the game progresses though, there will be more and more enemies that are armored, and a good thing to know is you can shoot off their helmets, and this allows you to follow up with direct headshots. Also, some of the weapons are extra good at dealing with armored enemies, such as the big bore handgun from the C1 hub in Mexico, as this will break and ignore enemy armor, and the upgraded stun bowler from the inventor is also fantastic. Now, holding and equipping weapons can be a lot during fights, but did you know you can just press right on the D-pad to quick equip a weapon if you're holding it in your hands? Also, if you want to drop a weapon, you can just press down on the D-pad while aiming to avoid any offloading animations. Hopefully this helps you learn a bit more about the moveset, and if there are any additional nuances that you know about, then add them in the comments below so we can all increase our knowledge base and learn any cool new tricks that you figured out. We will be looking at the comments, so we appreciate any extra tips you guys have, and we'll see you in the next one. Here at Arix Gaming, we're two friends who love to play games. You have me, Paradise, as well as 26.
Our goal is to keep the videos as concise as possible by cutting out any of the fluff and focusing on what really matters with high quality videos.
So make sure you're subscribed down below for more videos on your favorite games coming very, very soon.